little bit more structural framing to put in here. We have to put our 2x10s back here. These are 2x12s. I have my framing tables here, and a 2x12 at 16 inches on center for a floor joist will span 17 foot 10. So let's just see if we're good here. From here to here, what's that distance? We'll measure it. And we'll see. So from here to here is, looks like 16 foot 8. So we're good. Okay. I don't know why I lost one here, but I'll have to go back and put it in. I don't know what happened there. But anyway, that's not what we're dealing with right now. We're concerned about putting in our 2x10s, because let's look at our span table. 2x10s with 16 inches on center for a floor joist, not a ceiling joist, but a floor joist. 2x10, 16 inches on center. What is that? 15 foot 5. Okay. 16, yep, 15 foot 5. All right, so let's see where we're at here. That's our bigger span, the smaller, middle, and then the longest span will be here. So we'll just double check to make sure we're okay from here to here. Oh, it's 11 feet. So we're in good shape. So I'm going to go to my bond area. I have my bond area. What we're seeing here is the apron for a cantilever, but the bond is here. And I'll come all the way around there, back to here, and then I'll come back and sit. These joists will sit all the way on this beam to this end. Those joists that we're about to put in will sit on the beam on this end. So I'm going to put my magenta line here. Anyway, structure, beam system, sketch it. Now I'm looking over at my constraints here, my properties. It is a 2x10, and it's 1 foot to 4 inches, center is center, and it's minus 3/4 inches from the reference plane, which is the reference level, which is the first floor. All right, so I'll draw my line right from, let's start right there. I know I can come across. I'm going to come all the way across to the bond, which is right here. We put the bond in from the edge of the plywood across here. Now, I like to be as precise as possible because we can extract information about this in the schedules. And so it's nice if we want to know exactly what these lengths are. We get a pretty good idea here. It's pretty accurate. I'll come across here, and I want to come back. And then let's use the trim extend, fill it. So looks good. What about our span? Well, my first line that I drew was where? Must have been this one. See, the span's going in the wrong direction. So beam direction, I'll click this guy. Now my double line is here. That's where I want my floor joist to go. I'm going to say okay to that. And they're off by a little bit because the carpenters will put these next to each other. So let's see if I can select that system. I don't know if I did or not. And then we'll move it just so that they're next to each other from here to here. That one did. If this one moved too. Yep, okay, so we're good. So this is just next to each other, and that's how they would be put together. And everything looks good here. And so I like it. I'm gonna save it. And now let's take a look at that point loads coming down. What do we do? All right, so I have a point load coming down here. There's no support underneath it. What's happening right now is those point loads are just sitting on 3/4 inches of plywood. All of that weight's coming down. So we need to do something here. A couple things that we can do is we can add some more floor joists right next to each other. What would happen there, the bad part about that is if we have all of these floor joists, 1, 2, maybe 3 here now, that it won't be possible for the, if it's a forced air system, heating and air conditioning system, the mechanical guy's not going to be able to get his ductwork to come up that wall because these floor joists will be in his way. So the other thing that we can do is we can ladder under upper floor partitions. And I would make a note that I would say double floor joist or ladder under upper floor partitions. So here, what that means is that we just put another, we would put 2x10s in between this way, so that that load that's coming down would be supported by this and this guy. But I think, and again, see, look at that. There's no support there. That would definitely be a failure because it's just going to pop right down. And the same thing here. We have these loads without any support for it. So the only thing holding this up, and as far as I'm drawing it right now, is our plywood. 3/4 plywood is not going to support that weight. So let's see, what can we do? I can edit the boundary, but that's not going to change it. So let's put in some structure, beam. And it's going to be 2x10. I'm looking at my properties now. And it's relative to the first floor. And it's 3/4 of an inch below. So I'm going to put my first one in from here all the way across to here. And there it is. And grab it and drag it just a little bit more because I really want it to be resting on the end of the beam like that. How did we do over here? Not too good either. So I'll pull it back to there. Okay. Now I want to make sure that the center of this floor joist is the center of these beams. So I will align. I'll get to the center, looking for the center. There's the center. And then I'll pick the center of that. Okay. So I'm going to put, when I design a house, I design it the way that I would do it if it were for me. And so if this were my house, I don't want to take any chances about any kind of settling. So I would put 3 floor joists in there right underneath those point loads. And the mechanical contractor is going to take a look at this before it gets framed in. And he might say, don't triple these up, put that ladder in there because I need to get my ductwork up into that space. Now here, there's a door. So there's no way that there's ductwork coming up there, but there might be a ductwork coming up right here or over here. So, it wouldn't happen. Anyway, we've got the right length here. I can copy it now. And let's just drag it straight across again. And then I'm going to use here I think I might, no, I'm still going to do the same thing. I'm looking for the center. There it is. See it? Yep. And then I'm going to look for the center of this guy and add 2 more. So yeah, we're spending a little extra money here. People complain if there's a settlement and cracks in the walls, but very rarely does anybody complain about buying a couple extra 2x4s. Carpenter's not going to charge any more money for that. The lumber company will for some extra 2x, but anyway, probably should have got this to the right location first and then copied it. So I tell my students, if you're getting paid by the hour, this is the way to do it, but if you're getting paid by the project, you want to be efficient with your time. And that's what we're trying to do here. But I wasted a lot of time right here just because I wasn't paying attention to what really, I still can't get it. So I'm going to tab. Looks like I got it now. Yep. I'm using the tab key. The Revit's not really sure. It guesses at what I want it to select. But when you use the tab key, you can say, basically, no, I don't want to select that. I want to show me the next option. And then if it isn't what you want, then you can say, no, I don't want to select that. Show me the next option. But remember, I said that we had those point loads coming down, and I actually marked them, so I wouldn't forget it. So let's pay attention to the spacing here. So this one goes all the way back to there, but this one I'll copy these to get over to here. So it's pretty close. I probably can't put 3 underneath here. I can put 2. Let's see what happens. If I grab this one and copy it over from the edge of here, right over to here. And I didn't do it. So I'll use the align tool. And I will align those together like that. All right, now let's copy the next. Let's copy this guy over. Whoops, copy. Whoa, sloppy here. I selected what I want to copy. I've told Revit that I want to copy it, and Revit's waiting for me to tell it. Yeah, I'm going to put another one there anyway. That's more, but it definitely covers those point loads. Okay, structural engineer is going to look at this also. And he might say, yeah, okay, you're fine. Or he might say, yeah, we don't need that much. And that's okay. I don't mind the structural engineer saying you're over engineering this, but I definitely don't want the carpenter to say, oh, you know, I've been doing this for 40 years and we've never done anything like this before. Well, this is the first time, okay? You know, because after the carpenter's long gone, if there's a settlement, I'm the guy that the homeowner is going to look to as just some kind of a settlement in the structure of his house, which then cracks the gypsum board. Doesn't look good, and might be worse even than that. So anyway, here we go. That looks good. Here's the framing here. Those point loads that are coming down, look at they're sitting on. Look at what they're sitting on there. That looks good. That looks good. Doesn't that look nice and sturdy? Yep. And we have these point loads underneath this wall too, but I haven't put them in yet because there's going to be a header over that door. But that's basically, I think that's our first floor framing. Oh yes, I wanted to talk about this one too over here. So the fireplace needs a hearth where the floor isn't combustible underneath it. So we're gonna bring this bond back to here, and then we'll bring this bond back to here, and the contractor will drop the floor inside of there and put his combustible or their combustible material inside of there, or non-combustible material like some sort of stone, a hearth, and there won't be a combustible. It'll be supported by metal, some kind of metal framing. But look what happens now. I got this guy going through there. So let's click on it and edit the boundary. And let's take that line and go from here to here. To here and back to here. Hit the modify to clear out the command. So there's no command in there, but look at this. This will not work because Revit is confused. If I say okay, I will get an error message. So we'll continue here. And what I just need to do is split this material or this line right here, and then trim extend and trim extend. So now I have up, over, and back. Okay, that's good. And then I don't know what to do here to get this guy back in here, other than putting one more in. Aha, I'm still getting an error message here. So I don't see it. Maybe it's right here. Nope. All right, so I don't see it. So what I like to do then is click on this guy, come down to the eyeglass and say isolate category. Now all I have here is my magenta lines, and maybe the issue is that I've got two. I didn't read the error, so we'll just do this, and hopefully there won't be that double line. Okay, don't know if that's the problem or not, but we'll say okay, and let's see what happens. When that disappears, that means that it worked. And so I can go back to the eyeglass, reset the temporary hide, and I got my stuff back. I probably should put one in here. So let's do that. Structure, beam. Now these are 2x12s. So I'll have to come over and change my dimensional lumber from 2x10 to 2x12, but everything else would be -3/4 from the reference level, which is the first. So let's put that in. And it's going to go from here all the way to here. We want it to sit on the beam as much as possible. And let's see. So this guy, all of these guys are on that side. So when I say, if you look at this guy is on this side, this guy is on that side. So this guy should be on that side too. So I'll use the align tool, come over here, click on that. Now that's where it should be. And that's where it should be. Everything looks good. Got my structure in. This is going to be the fireplace, and there won't be any combustibles right in front of the fireplace. So if a spark comes out, it's got the hearth. And if the hearth, for some reason, the fire got through the hearth, there wouldn't be wood down below underneath the hearth for it to burn. The hearth will be supported by some sort of metal support there. So I like what I see. We're getting there.